I am the champion. I am the champion. No time for losers, 'cause I am the champion of the world.
There's a new street fighter on your windowsill. The weapon is peace. The word is chill.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behavior. So take off your pants, crack a beer and get ready to find out how to get 10,000 YouTube subscribers. I wasn't planning to make a video like this, but over the last few months I've had people asking me for advice, which I'm not like making myself seem like some big important person, because 10,000 is like teeny weeny teeny tiny little amount of subscribers when you compare it to like the big dogs. You know, there are people doing action figure videos like Shardamus Prime who have over 500,000, and guys like Boog and Fwoosh, and I don't even want to start naming because there are so many people who are way up the ladder. But maybe because of that, they don't have the chance to give so much feedback because they're too busy killing the game. Whereas this guy, I have free time. So, how do you get 10,000 subscribers? First of all, this isn't going to be one of those videos where I just prattle on for hours without actually telling you anything, because believe me, I've watched those videos because I wanted to find out when I first started, and I'm like,
Get to the point!
so here we go, no more messing around. This is what I think would be really useful for anyone setting up a YouTube channel. Alright guys, the most important rule right away before anything else is, just do it. Because you're never going to be ready. So many people understandably are like, I really want to do this, but I want to just get good at this first, or I just want to try and get myself this first, then I'll start, then I'll be ready. Newsflash. You ain't ever ready. No one is ever an expert at something before they start. You just gotta start, and that will do it. You learn by doing. You go back into the archives and watch my first video, and it's like, it's pretty rough, actually. The lighting is bad, the camera setup is bad, it's not a good quality video, but there's something there. There's a little nugget of something that's like, this could be a thing if we just persist with it. So the lesson is, you're never gonna be ready to start. So just do it. Shia LaBeouf style, just do it! That meme is actually very true. The dude knew what he was talking about. Just channel Shia LaBeouf. Just do it. Point number one. First of all, it's all about the initial presentation, and that starts with the thumbnail. Simple as that. If someone isn't interested in your thumbnail, if it doesn't look appealing, no one's going to click on it. So you could have a video that was scripted by Tarantino, directed by Spielberg, and presented by Al Pacino, which no one will watch if your thumbnail doesn't look like anything good. And that's something that, again, I had to play around with a lot. And to get a good thumbnail, I would say there are so many apps you can use on your smartphone. I downloaded one called Thumbnail Maker. I mean, the clue is in the title. And that allows you to play around with cropping and cutting and pasting and doing all sorts of things very simply, just with touchscreen technology. So you don't need Photoshop or Paint Pro or any of those things. Just get yourself a good iPhone app, and that will allow you to create interesting looking thumbnails. And you don't necessarily need to be a great photographer or anything. You can use pictures from Google image search, official merchandise catalog pictures. If you're doing action figure reviews, use the official Marvel Legends pictures. That's what they're there for, and Lord knows people do it. I mean, I certainly do. But then you see, with the most recent Marvel Legends reveals video I did, it was a picture of me, so folks know it's me, and then all the little ones scattered around me. So it just is a little bit different, because a load of people would have put up pictures of the Marvel Legends that were revealed and be like, my take. But at a glance, you're like, well, whose take? I'm gonna keep on scrolling. Whereas if it's this big old mug right here, it's like, oh, this is Dave's take. I hate that guy. Let's keep on scrolling. Or hopefully someone might go, I like that dude. Let's find out what he has to say. So it's all about the thumbnails. That is point number one. Point number 2, starting with first impressions again, is what do people see the second they switch on the video and it starts playing? What is going to grab your attention? Because people have attention spans that can only be measured in nanoseconds. I know I do. I have a really short attention span, and that is why I make videos that I think would appeal to me. Because I know that if it appeals to me, if I think it would hold my attention, then it will hopefully hold other people's. Because I would be the first person to skip and click off.
This show ain't no good.
And that's a really delicate thing, is the first couple of seconds is when someone will decide if they're going to watch the video or not. So you have to think, what is the first thing the person is seeing? That's why I always try to start my videos with me. Because I'm not saying I'm like the best thing in the world to start a video with, but it's something interesting. Because Lord knows, the picture comes on and you've got this bright, wide-eyed, big smile Cheshire Cat green guy talking to the camera, and it's like, oh, okay, let's see what this guy has to say, because it might not be intelligent, but at least he's going to say it with a bit of passion, and that is probably what's going to help. So, yeah, that's point number 2. What is the first thing people are going to see? Point number 3 is what makes you different to anyone else out there. That's the thing. And that's why I was never sort of planning to become like a YouTube reviewer, because there are 10 billion different YouTube reviewers all doing very, very similar stuff. The one I always refer to, of course, is Shartimus Prime, because he is, I would say, like the most well-known basic YouTube reviewer. And I'm not saying basic in a bad way, I just mean it's like the most perfect meat and potatoes, white background, hands holding the action figure. This is what it looks like, this is what it does. These are the comparisons. Like, he has perfected that to an absolute fine art. So if your video is just doing the same, then why would anyone watch it? Why watch yours instead of watching his? So, I mean, granted, you might feel that your presentation, your vocal style is better, but honestly, who's going to watch enough episodes to give it a chance to find out? If I click on a video and it's just a plain background and someone holding a figure, I'm like, well, I could watch Shartimus Prime do this. So that's what I'm saying, is what can you do to incorporate your own personal kind of unique spin and take on things to make people go, no, I specifically want to watch this person's video. A tricky thing, especially when starting out, is how will anyone actually see your thumbnail or video at all? You could have a great video and an amazing thumbnail, but no one's actually watching it because the algorithm isn't helping you.
Acknowledge me.
The Facebook algorithm, there is like a 1 in a squillion chance that it will pick up your video and put it on someone's front page. So how do you get more people to see your videos? And that's where the social media game comes in. But it's not something that you can just spam away on and voila, because, oh my goodness, people don't like being bombarded with people going, hey, buy my stuff, look at my product, support my thing, stop what you're doing, stop trying to enhance your own thing and spend time helping me. That gets annoying very fast and it puts people off of you. And honestly, I've had people saying, hey dude, could you stop spamming your videos please? So there is a very big happy medium there. For me, it worked really well with Marvel Legends because, of course, there are loads of Facebook groups about Marvel Legends, about action figures. So there is like a captive audience there. But one thing, just by pure luck more than anything else, was that I spent about a year on all of these groups just being a fan and a fellow collector, which I still am. I'm just a fan and a fellow collector who dedicates all of his free time to making YouTube videos. But that also meant that by the time I started promoting some of my videos on these Facebook pages, I'd actually been there for a year, chatting and talking and making jokes and having fun with people. So it wasn't just someone dropping in and saying, hey everyone, watch my stuff. Because instantly, myself included, that puts people off. Like, I see someone do that, I'm like, I've never heard of you before, you've never commented on this page, you have no interactions with people, but you're telling us to watch your stuff. Bye, Felicia. And that's the thing. If you're going to incorporate Facebook groups and put your stuff out there, then be a part of the group. And that's a nice thing about things that you're passionate about. You can't fake it. You can't be like, hello, fellow toy enthusiasts. You've got to actually be a part of the community, because that's what this is all about, is community. So if you get involved with people and discuss and then share the things that you make and you're passionate about, then that's where Facebook can be really, really useful. Just don't go abusing it, because I've found out you'll lose friends quick. Speaking of community, the comments section in your videos. Reply to your comments, get to know people, chat, interact. There are two big reasons for this. First of all, it's really, really freaking awesome building a community. I never even considered this was going to be a thing when I started making Facebook videos, YouTube videos, was that people actually will kind of like bond to this and make this a real group community sort of experience, and I love that. There is like the model behavior group, and that's so awesome. So that makes me really, really happy. And also from like a analytical side of things, the comment section, the number of comments will actually increase the amount of times that your video is shown by the algorithm. If the algorithm sees that there are a lot of comments and a lot of interactions and back and forths on your videos, then it will go, hey, this video is popular, I'm going to push it more. So if people take the time to write and comment on your videos, then take the time to write and comment back, because A, it's just a good karma thing to do. I love, every time I see someone comment on a video, I'm like, oh man, you took the time to actually write. And even if you're telling me something I don't want to hear, I appreciate the fact that you've taken time out of your day to do it. So that's why I love trying to respond to all of the comments. And to be honest, we've kind of reached critical mass as far as comments go. I can't physically respond to all of them, which is like, that's a happy problem. It's like, oh Dave, tell us about how you're so successful you can't respond to all your comments. God, that must be awful for you. But you know what I mean. So yeah, increase the traffic and the communication, because when you build a community, oh my goodness, that's really awesome. Going back to the multimedia social media game, Instagram, and this is an interesting one here, because there was a time where subscribers were just not moving. Like, it was just stuck. I had a few hundred and like that was it. I was thinking, what can I do? I'm making videos all the time. I'm putting all this effort into them and they're just not picking up. The subscribers aren't moving. And I thought, what can I do to kind of cultivate this, to stimulate this growth? Ooh, misses. So what I did was, and there were two things. This was like a two-pronged kind of lessons learned sort of thing. I went onto Instagram and I saw people who were following various action figure pages, and I would look at their pages and I would sort of say, hey, I'd put a little copy and paste message going, hey, I see you like all this stuff. If you're interested, I have a YouTube channel. If you wanted to check it out, like, here's a link. Peace and love. I, hope to see you in the comment section. And you know what? That got nothing. You know why? Because people don't like being bombarded with your spam, just like I said before, going, hey, stop what you're doing and make me successful. It's like, why? Stop bothering me. It's the Instagram equivalent of cold calling, and that's what I was doing, because I was so determined to make this a success, and it wasn't being successful, and I was like, there's got to be something I can do. So I'll give myself points for being proactive, and then take them all away for being a pain in the neck, cold calling type person. And yeah, not proud of that. But the lesson was then learned in my head. I was like, well, why? Why? If someone sent me that message, I wouldn't be interested in clicking on their link. I'm like, no, if you're good, I'll find you anyway. But then I thought, well, why not actually work together and help people and artists to actually be successful? And oh yeah, it's not all about you, Dave. So then I had a look at people who were posting really, really awesome action figure photography. And I was like, okay, this is great. So I messaged the people posting action figure photography and being like, guys, your photos are awesome. May I incorporate them in my videos? And then it's like, yes, there you go. Now we're actually working together. We're helping each other. And it's not a selfish exercise by me trying to increase my subscribers. This guy sometimes. And then that became a brilliant thing that I really enjoyed. I would give shout outs to all these different Instagram pages, and I would do galleries and collages of all these awesome photos and music montages at the end. That was so much fun, and it worked so well for, again, building up communities and interactions and just making connections and friendships with other creators. That was so worth doing. I'm really, really happy that I took that step, and it just increased the overall community that I was working within. Brilliant way to go about things. Going back to how to make your videos more interesting, oh my goodness. Do not stay on the same static image for ages because it's boring and the mind switches off really fast. Again, I know that mine does. That's why I talk so quickly, because I have that short attention span. I get bored halfway through a sentence and I'm like, what are you even talking about, Dave? No one cares. I don't care. So keep the camera angles and the pictures and the cutaways and things moving. Keep it interesting. Even if you're just talking directly to a camera, have it zoom in slightly or zoom out slightly, or flash cut back and forth, or change to a picture or an image or a video. Things that keep things rolling, keep it interesting. This isn't the news at 10. It's not enough to just have, today on this channel, I'm talking about this, and this is what's going to happen. Oh my god, I'm so bored. Shoot me in the head. Give me more. Feed me more input. Feed me more things to look at and catch my attention. I'm just a stupid little baby bird who needs constant stimulation to keep interested.
Oh my god. This man is my exact double! That dog has a puffy tail!
So that's where using camera angles, pans, cutaways, all those kinds of things, it makes the videos more interesting to watch and hopefully retains viewers. A big one now is to be consistent. Again, it's kind of serving two masters. There's the algorithm master and the people being interested in seeing your stuff type thing. That was a well thought out sentence. If you keep videos coming at a regular kind of pace, then the algorithm goes, this person is a regular content creator, a regular producer.
They are part of our corporate machine. We can utilize this to increase our profit margins.
And again, they will keep pushing the videos. If you do like one video in a blue moon every now and then, it gets lost in the shuffle a lot more. And also, people don't make your channel like a go-to destination, because why should they? You know, it's like, well, maybe they'll put out a video in a month's time or something. I don't know. So if you kind of keep things rolling, then that's a great way of also keeping yourself in the video making headspace too. Because if you just do it a little bit here, a little bit there, you never really get into a rhythm, and then you never get traction, and then things don't move forward. A fun little one also when making videos and having people come back regularly is having sort of a set routine, because people, myself included, love kind of a verbal tradition or something that resonates in the brain where it's like, this is what's coming, this is what's next. That's why, again, always going back to Shardamus Prime, but it's an easy one. He'll show like, this is the box, this is the packaging, get your big bad toys that, and here's a size comparison, you're big time badass Spider-Man. It's all things that you go like, yes, I know this song, I can sing along to this. And that's a really good kind of rhythm to be in, because it feels like a comfortable pair of pants. Whenever you watch an episode, you're like, these fit perfectly, I know what's coming, and I enjoy the ride, I enjoy the experience, and that counts for a lot. A big one, I'll say, and one that I'm not too proud to admit, is that performance-enhancing bots don't work. This is like the PEDs of YouTube. You see these things where it's like, increase your subscriber number, increase your view counts, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna just experiment with this to find out. I experimented in college just to see what it was like. I experimented with bots, and I'm not too proud to say it. And you know what? They do nothing. It's just a complete con. Luckily, I put £5 in. Now, I can't even remember what it was, what the system or the thing was, but it's like, pay this much and increase your subscriber count or increase your view count. So I was like, okay, let's find out. And this was like right at the start, so I was maybe getting like 200 views on a video. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna play low and just see what happens. So I paid £5, I selected the video I wanted to increase views on, and lo and behold, it suddenly had 600 views. And I was like, oh, okay, so does that mean that it like made the algorithm push it more? Because I thought that was what it was going to do. I thought it's just going to like somehow shuffle my video to people's front pages, and there you go. Now more people are going to see it. Nah. All it does is make some bots somewhere click on the video, because you can see the views might be up, but the comments, the likes, flatline, nothing. No human being is actually watching it. It's just getting more clicks. And of course you can think, oh yeah, but more clicks means more ad revenue, so that works out. No. The amount you pay is way more than any ad revenue would be, so it doesn't work. So similarly, if you see Facebook accounts that have like, 500,000 views on a video, have a little look at the comments section. Because if the number of comments don't equate to what 500,000 views would be, then something's rotten in Denmark, folks. So that's a good one to go for. If you see the bots, stay away because there are no shortcuts. A big one, of course, is also specializing. What is your IP? What is the thing that people will come to your channel for? I've kind of dabbled in going outside the action figure genre and spoken about movies and wrestling and this and that doesn't get as many clicks. And that's sort of fine because it does cater to another audience, but then you think, well, if I do too much, if I throw too much at the wall, then will people who actually come here for action figures go, most of these videos aren't action figures, you know what, I'm not really so invested in this channel. So it's actually much better, especially when starting out, to just go, no, this is what we're doing, this is what's unique about what I'm doing, this is where we're going to go, and carry on with that, and beat that road until it's well worn, and then you can start to diversify a little bit if you want. Remember that every video you make is going to be someone's first. So every video, there is going to be a new person watching that for the first time, and that is their first impression of you, of your channel, of what you bring to the table. So you're only as good as your last video. So that's why you got to keep decent, consistent quality. And that's something that I always really worry about. I think like, oh, well, maybe I'll just do like a quick thoughts on this type video. But then I think, well, if that's the first thing that someone sees from me and it's not the same quality, then they might go, I don't need to watch this. So it's a real kind of tightrope sort of act. So I think at least what I did was, don't put videos out just for the sake of putting a video out. Make sure it's something that someone can watch and go, huh, I'm interested to see what this idiot has to say, and then click on other things. So that's the takeaway from that one. You're only as good as your last video. A big one now, and it sounds horribly kind of corporate, is look at what is trending. Ugh. Look at what is popular and kind of structure some of your content around that, because that is what is in the zeitgeist. So if there is a new reveal or a new movie or a new event that people are talking about, then make content on it, but don't do it just for the sake of it. Have something to say. But if you do have something good to say, then hopefully it will get some traction. So if there's a big news event or a story that you want to comment on, then do it like right away. Strike while the iron is hot, and then that will be a good time to jump on a cultural bandwagon and ride that sucker into the ground like the corporate shill that I am. You are. And finally, guys, the biggest piece of advice I think I can give is have fun in doing what you do. And I know that sounds like such a corny thing to say, but it really is true. Like, you gotta have passion about what you do, because this takes so long, and there are so many times where you're gonna think this is pointless. I have had days where I've just refreshed my subscriber count over and over and over again. I'm like, why isn't it growing? Why is it stuck? And it is, and you just gotta push on through. That's why there actually aren't that many successful YouTube creators, because understandably so many people go, I don't have time for this. It's like, I can't keep pouring all of this work and effort into something that's not giving me anything back. So a huge big thing is, if you want to be successful, you got to grind with it. There is, every overnight sensation has about a decade of hard work behind it. And that's another thing that like works for me. Like, yeah, I got my subscribers in, up to a good number in a year, but that wasn't just a year of work. That's also 2 decades of being a performer and talking in front of a camera. So that was all the work that went into being able to make videos that I think maybe kind of resonated. But then again, maybe it was just dumbass luck. I don't know. But the important thing is, I had fun doing it. Even in the darkest of dark times where nothing was happening, I still got a kick out of making the videos. So guys, as long as you're having fun doing what you do, then keep on doing it. And guys, that was my 5 to 58 step plan as to how to become a successful YouTuber. And like, again, success. I mean, success is variable. 10,000 subscribers is like small, teeny, tiny, small. But like, it's also kind of like, yay, I did a thing. Hey mom, I did a thing. So that is how I did it, and maybe none of those points are actually the same as someone else who maybe got 100,000 subscribers in a month. I don't know. You know, I don't have any kind of crutches to rely on or any shortcuts. It was just a lot of grinding and a lot of hard work, and most importantly, so much fun and love and passion for the subject that I'm covering. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then click like, share, and subscribe, just like this video has been all about. And until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Chill.
This was a video I wasn't originally ever planning to make, but I had people...